Hey everybody, what is going on? Hexlex here. Got another Master Duel video for you, coming at you with yet another build and play. We did one for the Theme Chronicle event with Orcus, and I wanted to put a list together for my favorite deck, which is of course going to be Spright. And I know this is the kind of build and play that a lot of people are probably looking forward to because of Spright being such a free and accessible deck right now. I know a lot of people are really looking to make the most out of this card for a competitive environment. So we're going to do just that. And I'm not going to waste any time. We're just going to get right on into this build here. So when I'm looking at Spright cards, I'm first thinking about like the core of everything you would need to play for a basic Spright strategy, right? It's going to be one Sprend, two of each Gigantic and Elf for extra deck cards, those 5 to start off. And for the main deck, we're going to slap in a playset of blue, playset of jet, 1 red, 1 carrot, and 3 starter. And that's actually all I'm going to go for. For the other Spright cards, Pixies, I don't think ends up being good enough. I mean, it is a decent extender, but the battle effect is pretty irrelevant, and we already have a ton of extenders. It's a Spright deck. They're all extenders, so I don't really feel the need to play Pixies. Gamma Burst is probably the spell or trap card aside from starter that I'm most likely to play, because it does really help with a lot of situations where you might not otherwise be able to OTK. But we have other OTK options that aren't reliant on searching a card from the deck. We can OTK with extra deck options as well, so I don't really feel the need for it. Smashers I think is just too costly. It is a non-targeting banish, which is nice, but I don't like that you have to already have searched and set this up and then still banish one of your level or rank or link 2 monsters. I think that's a little bit too costly, as mentioned. Double Cross is a fine normal trap card, but it ends up being very slightly situational. Not bad by any means. I'd say that none of these spell or trap cards are like terrible. I just don't think they're ultimately good enough. I think there are better things we could be playing, be it other engines or off engine. So for frog stuff, we're going to throw in 3 Swat Frog and a Ronin Totem. For nimble monsters, it's going to be 2 Angler, 3 Beaver. For other extra deck options, I mentioned an extra deck OTK option. We have that in the form of a Ninja Shadow Mosquito. And of course, we definitely are going to need the IP Masquerena and SP Little Knight in here as well. Another extra deck staple that doesn't get talked about a lot for Spright that I consider to be a staple is Salamangreat Almirage. It might not seem like it at a glance. It's like, what is this card doing in here? You know, it's just a link one. But this actually turns Swap Frog from just like a regular normal summon into full Spright combo just by having this in your extra deck. So I think in the last Spright build, we actually didn't include Almirage because we were trying out so many different things in the extra deck, but I really would like to go out of my way to make room for it here. So this is what I consider to be the Spright core, basically. Everything else from here is going to be, I think, more on the optional side of things. So recently, I've been playing Spright with Kashtira Fenrir as well as a full Fiendsmith engine a lot. And I'm a little tempted to do that again, but at the same time, I don't know, because the thing that I noticed last time, the problem we had, is that it left us like no room for off engine, like hand traps especially, and board breakers and stuff. And I'd really like to be able to have a fair amount of those. So when I think of the hand traps, I mean, obviously we're going to play, I say obviously, but Droll is actually not like as much of a staple right now as it's been in the past. But I really like Droll in Spright in particular because we can actually combo, like do our full combo through Droll and Lockbird. So if they max C or Foolos us, we can actually use Droll and Lockbird on our own turn and still be able to do all of our plays. We're going to throw in Max C, we're going to throw in Ash Blossoms, I am going to put in Fuas, and I'll go out of my way to make room for Called By as well. So that right there is 9 hand traps. I'd like at least a few more and or some board breakers. For board breakers, we could try Fallen the Virtuous, although I don't know if I really want to commit the extra deck spots. To be fair, Spright does tend to have a pretty wide open extra deck. Like other extra deck cards I'm thinking about playing are Onibimaru Soul Sweeper. I love this card. This card has saved me and won me so many games just by being able to remove like a problem monster from the opponent's board. You could definitely think about like Zeus and Typhon, but those are definitely going to be kind of like bottom of the barrel. Not bottom of the barrel. They're not that bad. Those are going to be lesser than some other extra deck options I'd consider. But what even would those be? Oh, Jin Buster. I like having the option to add this to your end board as a negate for rank 2s. Are there any other link 2s I really want to play? Like, we could do Airly if we really wanted to. You could also put in another IP target, whether it's like Gorgon of Xylophonia, Fancy Ball, or Underworld Goddess, something like that. Airly outside of the oh yeah, the tri-brigade stuff. That's right, that's right. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, you know what? That is such a small engine that I think it's totally worth playing. Oops. We really just need one of each kit in the main deck. In the extra deck, it would be Airly and double Dragon Lords. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, that's right. That's why I ran out of so much. That's why I had so much less room in the main deck, rather, of the last iteration, is because I was doing these and Cashier Fenrir's and the Fiendsmith stuff as well. I might still actually do Fenrir's, because they're not a bad board breaking card, as well as a decent end board piece. We just don't have to necessarily throw a Fiendsmith on top of that. Maybe I will try that out, actually. Yeah, because this is kind of, it's good both going first and second. Going first, it can be used either as an end board piece or in combination with literally any level 2 monster in order to go into Spright plays. And then going second, you can begin your turn by special summoning it, and then if they try to activate an effect to threaten your combo, you can Fenrir to banish one of their monsters. That actually might be the best board breaker that we have access to in this deck. Like, again, we could do something like... See, like, Droplet is not that great in this deck, because we really want to have, like, multiple things to pop off with. I guess if we were on 3 kit, Droplet would be better. Is that even true, though? Because you need Almirage or another body for kit. Now I'm kind of thinking about cutting the Fenrir's, going back up to 3 kit, and then playing a full playset of Droplet as well. Would leave us, like, 2 more spots. But I don't know. No, I don't think that's necessary. I think I'm willing to try Fenrir. I'd like Triple Tack as a pretty good board breaker option for this deck as well. Maybe even like 2 copies, and then we could play like some Ghost Spells. You know what's funny? I'm a little tempted to throw in Baron de Fleur for playing 3 Ghost Spell. Between that and Ash Blossom with Fenrir, you can actually make this here. But I still feel like Typhone would probably come up more often. Alright, how do I feel about this? You know what? Kind of want to replace a Triple Tack with a Crossout Designator. How's that? That's not bad. Do I like Crossout more than the second Triple Tack in this deck? I don't know, actually. That sounds like a really weird thing to question, right? But I'm thinking about it, and if they have, like, Maxi or Fua, we can droll through it a lot of the time. I mean, it's not guaranteed you're going to have this card in your hand, but, like... No, we'll just keep the second, or the Crossout over the second talent. I think I'm overthinking it right now. So that leaves us with 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 12 hand traps, and then 4 board breaker cards. That's definitely not bad. The Fenrir is both a board breaker and an extender, which I like quite a bit. I don't know if we need Fancy Ball. I'm a little bit iffy on that, honestly. More than a little bit. I'm actually very iffy on it, but I'm like, what would I play instead? Zeus? I think Zeus might actually come up more often than Fancy Ball. Do I want to play Baron de Fleur? Is that too cheeky? I think that's probably too cheeky. Okay, this looks solid. I'm totally fine with this. Do I even call this Tri-Brigade Spright? Because, like, I am playing Tri-Brigade stuff, but it's such a small part of the deck here. I mean, really, Airly isn't even part of, like, the dedicated Tri-Brigade engine. It's, like, 2 cards in the main deck and 1 in the extra deck. That's fine. We'll still call it Tri-Spright, because why not? All right. I think I'm satisfied with this. I am kind of thinking about like another hand trap over the third Ghost Spell, but Ghost Spell is also just really good in this format. I was kind of thinking about Perulias earlier. I think this is fine. All right, I'm going to change up the accessories a little bit here. I love my purple-white combo. I think it just looks clean. So I like that on both the deck case here and then the main and extra deck sleeves. For field, for Spright, let's go for the IP board. Just feels like it makes the most amount of sense. Gotta rock blue as our mate. Meow Mine's my favorite coin. And we gotta let people know what we're representing. All right. We're gonna go up here to ranked. I know, I'm still in plat. It's almost the end of the month. Oh, it's bad. I really need to like get grinding to at least get up to diamond. Not exactly super eager to fall back down to gold, but just been busy with life and stuff. Anyway, let's go into our first game here and see what we got. Okay, we're going second, so let's see if these additional off-engine cards help us a little bit more going second. That last build, I think, was trying to do too much with Tri-Brigade and Fiendsmith and Fenrir's and all that stuff. Okay, we got Ash Blossoms and Triple Tack alongside Swap Frog and Jet. Seems at least somewhat promising. They're going to begin with Spenta. What do they want to try to add? Zorora here? Is it going to be like Fairy Tale then? I think I might save Ash Blossom for Wickcat and see how that treats me. They do get to add if they're equipping Artemis here, which is a little bit unfortunate. But again, I think I do want to save for Wickcat. They can add Crowley here. That's fine. Like, what are they going to do? Fusion summon right now? Oh, they might actually. That would actually be a problem if they do. If they don't go straight into Wickcat. Oh, I think I misplayed by trying to wait for Wickcat here. It's either that or they misplayed. Okay, good. They're not fusion summoning off Crowley's effect. That's good. I was a little concerned there for a moment, but... Alright, that should keep them off of Fairy Tale, and... What are they going to do, go into, like, Little Knight off of these? Ooh, they do have Fairy Tale Ball. Not ideal. Special summons a monster, and you control a Fairy Tale monster. Okay, so yeah, now they can add Match Giru. Match Giru can add their spell. It's going to be Tails, probably. Yep. Super duper polymerization. That's not good. Granganol. No, Ecclesia and the Dark Dragon. Going for Weaver. Okay. Wow, they just had like multiple extenders left in their hand. The polymerization and the ball. I mean, given what we had knowledge of, I think we played as best as we could as far as using our Ash Blossom for disruption. So they have Snow, they have Tails. Where they add off of, they added Giru off ball? Yeah, okay. So they can go Tails, make Teller, and then go into Rilliona. But they already have Crowley in the graveyard. They really should not have summoned Crowley when they did. This might, actually, we might be fine here. They might still just only be able to end on Teller here. They will have Snow and Wickcat. That's also probably going to end up being annoying. Oh, they could still make Rilliona here. But Rilliona doesn't have a Crowley to summon. Right, we already talked about that. Okay. Alright, let's see what we can do here. That's a pretty terrible top deck, unfortunately. Oh, that is very unfortunate. Oh well. Okay, if they negate this with Teller, which they are, I think I have to draw 2 off of triple attack here. Yeah, I have to draw 2 here. And that is not going to be more plays. That is unfortunate. Yeah, I'm just going to have to concede. So even if we had Ash Blossom the Spenta at the beginning, they still would have gone... they still had Ball and Super Duper Polymerization, right? So that they also still would have had their normal summon at that point too. So they could have balled for Luna to add Giru and gone off anyway. Okay. So I don't think saving Ash Blossom for Wetcat is why we lost. I think it's just because they had multiple extenders. Okay, what do we got here? They're on their rank up game. We'll have to do something about that. And we're going second. So let's see if we can get some of those, some more of that off engine that we added to our deck. Okay, we have Ash Blossom, we have Fua. Can't complain about that. What are you going to do? Princess Dracania. Sends as cost, and then it special summons itself, right? Becomes equal to the sent monsters. This card is sent to the graveyard. You can add a Predaplant monster from your deck to your hand. I'm going to Ash Blossom that. Am I going to Fuelos? No. I can chain Fuelos to another effect. They're not going to go for a Link 1 here. I don't think so, anyway. I guess it could be like Link Karibo. Add a Predap card from your deck to your hand. They're both tuners. They can't Synchro Summon off of just that. We can still hold Fua and try to get the guaranteed draw here. Just make them commit to the board. I guess they could link into Vert Anaconda, so I should probably activate Fuelos after this resolves. Yeah, I should definitely do that. I think that'd be greedy to try to hold Fuelos after this. They're getting Preda Pruning, which summons from the graveyard, right? Turn a Predaplant monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Yeah, what does this do when it's summoned? Nothing? All right. Yeah, I'm going to throw out Fuelos here. Again, I just don't want them to be able to link into Vert Anaconda off these two and me miss out on a draw for it. Okay, they're going to go Preda Primitive, sure. Sending Orphis Scorpio, and they get to add a fusion card. It's going to be Super Polymerization. Wonder how well I can play around Super Poly. That's actually a really good top deck. That's actually an insane top deck. Wow. Yeah. We're going to go Special Summon, dump the Angler. And we'll go Chainlink 1 Angler, Chainlink 2 Swap Frog. Okay, we don't have to pivot into Sprend, I don't think. At this point, there's not much point in doing that. Could make Elf. Could make Sprend anyway. Turn these into fire. Dump the other Angler, summon out a Beaver anyway. Gigantic is dark. I could also make Shadow Mosquito. And then just go into Zeus. Is not a horrible option. It's not really a good one, though, is the problem. I think Sprend is actually the play here. This looks weird, but I think this is right. Should I send Swap Frog as one of the monsters? Then I'd have that ready to go with the Ronin in the graveyard. Yeah. Gotta be careful with the dark attribute, because they could super poly one of their monsters with one of my dark monsters as well. Yeah, we'll just stump the other angler here. So if I go into Gigantic, they're going to have to activate Super Poly, because otherwise they won't be able to summon off it for the rest of the turn. I think this is my best bet for baiting this card out. Oh my god, they let it resolve. Ooh, they let it resolve. That is not what I expected to happen at all. Okay, wow. Wowie, wow, wow, wow. So we're gonna go ahead and pull the Spright Blue out of the deck. This is actually a game where I really, really wish we had the Gamma Burst. Oh, this is a game where the Gamma Burst would be fantastic. But we might be able to pull this off anyway. Droll is so fine. Does not matter at all. Kind of matters. I guess it loses me one body, but I don't really need the bodies. It's not a matter of that. Okay. Let me think about this for a moment. So I can go normal summon Kit. I have the beavers in the graveyard, so I could turn these into Elf, and then Elf would have the zones open like here and here. Could summon Kit over here. Put like Ancient Warrior's Oath, double Dragon Lords. Ooh, this might actually, hang on. Okay, so summon, what does double Dragon Lords do? It bounces, right? Sends a card from hand or graveyard, and then it bounces a card. Might have to do that to try to find lethal here. But do I need to do that right now? Not necessarily, but I could anyway. There's kind of no reason not to. Oh, except then I can only use... Right. I can only use tri-types as the materials for the rest of the turn if I do that. Glad I remembered that when I did. How much damage do we have right now? 7,800. So I could link these two off into like Airly, and then Kit could resummon. Because yeah, this will dump the Springin's Kit, and then she can revive regular Kit. Although now I can't. Now my zones are occupied, so I can't actually use Kit's effect. This also summons in defense mode, doesn't it? I could revive, link, or Xyz summon and then use Kit, but would that actually be lethal? How much damage do I have right now? 7,300. Plus the double Dragon Lords is 8,400 minus 600. So I would need to Xyz, or I could just go for Soul Sweeper. Yeah. Could use the Elf Revive there too. I didn't have to banish. I don't know why I'm keeping the Elf Revive up. I just want to have the option. Because this should already be... Okay, that's 8k right there. Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay, that was just a really roundabout way. There were so many different ways I could have gone about it. I'm telling you, Onibimaru's Soul Sweeper. As soon as I remembered that card, I was like, oh shoot, we're fine. I can just get myself out of this scenario, no problem then. Yeah, that was good. Playing around Super Poly like that was a little bit rough. I mean, obviously, if my opponent had actually used it against a Gigantic, then going for lethal would have been... It really just depended on what they would have summoned, because if it had high enough attack points, and like if it was Dragos Stapelia, for example, right? That's the main thing. Let's even actually just see if that's in their extra deck. Sure it is. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, they also have the new Starving Venom. I forgot all about this. Okay, so if they had gone into that, they would have been able to potentially fusion summon again into the Dragostapelia, which I don't think that would have actually been that different in the grand scheme of things, because the only real benefit they would have had is being able to negate one of my cards. But if they had super polyed away my Gigantic, the thing they would have negated is like a Nimble Beaver that's not doing anything. So either way, I would have just had to have faced Dragostapelia, which I would have had to bait out this effect. Turning a monster into level 1 could have been pretty rough, but it's got enough attack points that Shadow Mosquito OTK could have been a possibility. I think, Yeah, sorry about that. I have my windows open in there. Yeah, I don't know. I think that we could have potentially still found lethal even if they had super polyed away the Gigantic. I think that would have still been more than possible there. All right, I'm looking at my time. I know we only played a couple of games, but I think I am going to call it here just so I can get some time to edit this and all that fun stuff. But yeah, thanks for joining me for this build and play for Spright. There's so many different ways that you can build and play Spright, so I'm definitely down to keep exploring this deck month after month. I would have liked to have tried to test the Fenrir, especially going second, but I'll probably just end up doing that off screen when I do a little bit of off screen testing there as well. So yeah, for the time being, I think it's going to go ahead and do it. Thank you all so very much for watching. Super appreciate the support. Let's go ahead and move now to our outro where we can thank our YouTube members and Patreon subscribers. Hey everybody, Hexlex here. Thank you so very much for watching all the way to the very end of the video, which by the way is one of the best ways to support the channel. Speaking of supporting the channel, take a look at the names on screen. These are folks who have been so generous as to either join as a YouTube member or subscribe over on patreon.com/Hexlex to support. There's also perks for doing so. If you would like to see YouTube videos early, as well as some exclusive videos that get uploaded to YouTube, but for one reason or another I decide not to publish, definitely go ahead and hit that join button to see content early, as well as some exclusive content. If you're looking for more exclusive content, over on patreon.com, I upload exclusive videos that are not posted on YouTube just about every single day. Whether you choose to subscribe over on Patreon, join as a YouTube member, or simply continue to watch, your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you so very much. But for now, this is Hexlex. I am signing out, and I hope that you have a fantastic day.